Arsenal net 4 goals in 13 minutes to blow Atleti away. Gyokeres ends goal drought as Arsenal thrash Atletico Madrid. Viktor Gyökeres ended his goal drought with a brace as Arsenal earned a stunning 4-0 win against Atletico Madrid in the Champions League. After both sides struck the crossbar, Gabriel Magalhães headed home the first of Arsenal's quartet in 14 scintillating second-half minutes. Gabriel Martinelli added a second with 64 minutes gone before Gyokeres landed a quick-fire double in the 67th and 70th minutes to leave Diego Simeone's side shell-shocked. Atletico had scored 7 goals in their opening 2 Champions League matches but rarely looked like threatening Arsenal's back line as Mikel Arteta's men recorded a 3rd clean sheet in as many games in Europe and a 4th in a row in all competitions. They have conceded just 3 times in 12 matches this season. Arsenal joined defending champions Paris Saint-Germain and last season's beaten finalists Inter Milan on 9 points from the 9 available and on course for the knockout rounds. Arteta's side set out their stall for a rapid start and might have been ahead inside 5 minutes. Gyokeres created space for himself on the edge of the area, with his resulting strike looping off David Hanko's ankle and over goalkeeper Jan Oblak. However, the crossbar denied Eze a first Champions League goal before Declan Rice thudded the follow-up into the ground and over. Eze was involved again with 19 minutes gone with an eye-of-the-needle pass to Bukayo Saka. The England winger beat the on-rushing Oblak to the ball, but the goalkeeper did just enough to divert his dinked effort away from danger. David Raya then presented Atletico with a chance when he needlessly delayed clearing the ball by the corner flag, but Julian Alvarez's long-range effort sailed just wide of his far post. The offside flag came to Atletico's rescue when Martinelli converted Saka's cross in the minutes before halftime. Moments after the interval, Alvarez was given time and space to turn on the edge of the box. His fine curling effort had a diving Raya beaten, but it was the home side who were saved by the woodwork this time round. Then came the goals. Martinelli won Arsenal a free kick on the touchline and Rice's sumptuous set-piece was begging to be converted, and an unmarked Gabriel did not disappoint. Arsenal's second came from a fine driving run from Miles Lewis-Skelly, who has been on the periphery so far this season. The teenager picked up the ball in the center circle and drove forward, taking 4 Atletico players with him, before finding Martinelli. The Brazilian had the time to curl his shot into the far corner, and the hosts had doubled their advantage. That then became 3 when Gyokeres ensured his streak without a goal for club and country did not extend into double figures. Eze failed to volley home Martinelli's cross, but the ball fell to Gyokeres, who managed to dig out his shot which deflected in off Hanko's heel. Remarkably, Arsenal, and Gyokeres, had another 3 minutes later. Rice's corner beat everyone bar Gabriel at the back post and the Brazilian's header was bundled in off Gyokeres' stomach. The Sweden international had gone 38 days without scoring but now had 2 goals in 3 minutes. Simeone was deflated on the touchline while Arteta oversaw his side's 6th straight win of a season which is promising to deliver so much. Jamie Carragher suggests new positions for Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike to solve Liverpool issue. Jamie Carragher urged Liverpool to rethink tactics and play Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike together amid struggles to justify the club's huge summer spend. Carragher had some ideas for Liverpool's Arne Slot after 4 tough losses. Former Liverpool defender and current analyst Jamie Carragher recently suggested that the Reds must rethink how they deploy their high-profile attacking signings. And the timing couldn't be more urgent, after Carragher responded to Wayne Rooney's criticism of Mohamed Salah. Liverpool is reeling after a 4th consecutive defeat and a summer outlay of more than £400 million that is yet to deliver the expected results. The integration of Florian Wirtz and Hugo Ekitike into the squad has been anything but smooth. Wirtz, who moved from Bayer Leverkusen in a club record £100 million deal, has yet to register a Premier League goal or assist in his first 8 appearances, despite drawing Luka Modric comparisons from Jamie Redknapp. Manager Arne Slot has called the circumstances unlucky, but the concerns are mounting. He's been a bit unlucky with the finishing when he's given his teammates chances, but, in general for a 22-year-old, it's quite normal that you have to adjust to going to another country, let alone going to the Premier League, Slot said. Meanwhile, Ekitike, signed for approximately £79 million from Eintracht Frankfurt, started promisingly with 5 goals in 10 appearances, but he's been left out of the starting lineup in key recent matches. Carragher argued, Wirtz can't be kept on the bench forever. He plays in that left channel for Germany, and that is where he did so well at Leverkusen. Ekitike could play off Isak, and playing Wirtz there and coming inside, it could get Gyokeres higher up the pitch. It is about getting that front 5 up the pitch. When you have spent big money, you have to get those players out there together. It will be interesting to see how he gets Isak, Ekitike and Wirtz in the team because at some point, he has to when you pay that much money for them. That turbulence comes amid a slump for Liverpool. The club's 2-1 home defeat to Manchester United extended their losing streak to 4. Atletico and Wirtz were Liverpool's 2 major additions this summer. Slot admitted the challenge is significant. Losing 4 in a row is another challenge. That's the life of a football manager. The heavy spend and disappointing return have raised questions about the direction of the squad. Tactically, Slot is shifting away from the system that brought success under the previous regime, moving from a 4-3-3 to a 4-2-3-1 setup to accommodate players like Wirtz and Atletico. But the new structure has not yielded clarity or cohesion on the pitch. In reality, Wirtz has been shoehorned into roles that may not suit him, deployed on the left yet expected to deliver the cutting edge he showed at Leverkusen. And Atletico, despite his early promise, finds himself behind both Isak and the veteran Mohamed Salah in selection. The result? A squad that on paper is brimming with talent but lacks coherence. If Liverpool are to salvage their season, Slot must deliver immediate clarity on how Wirtz, Atletico, and Isak fit together. Fabrizio Romano explains Marc Guéhi's most likely next step amid Liverpool interest. Liverpool fans are saying that if the club had signed Marc Guéhi, they might not be dealing with their current run of poor form. Sunday's loss to Manchester United marks the Reds' 4th consecutive defeat, largely due to persistent defensive problems. Ibrahima Konate has struggled for much of the season, even though he showed some improvement against United. Virgil van Dijk has had to do a lot of the heavy lifting at the back on his own. Meanwhile, Guéhi continues to impress for both Crystal Palace and England. That is exactly why Liverpool made a strong push for him on deadline day last summer. Last week, Palace manager Oliver Glasner confirmed that Guéhi has no plans to sign a new contract with the club. Now, transfer expert Fabrizio Romano has clarified the situation surrounding the defender's future and Liverpool's position, given that his current contract extends until the summer of 2026. Marc Guéhi expected to leave on a free transfer. If Liverpool had been able to get a deal for Marc Guéhi over the line, there is little doubt he would be starting by now. With Konate struggling for form, the England international would have offered much-needed stability at the back. Liverpool could revisit their interest in Guéhi when the January window opens. While that remains a possibility, Romano believes it is far more likely that any move will happen next summer. There is now the official confirmation from Oliver Glasner. Marc Guéhi has decided and communicated to Crystal Palace that he's not going to sign a new contract with the club. He will leave in 2026. The most likely solution, from what I'm hearing, is on a free transfer next summer rather than in the January transfer window. That's the feeling for Guéhi. We never know what can happen in January, but the intention is to go on a free. Liverpool are still interested in Marc Guéhi, but they are not the only club. There are several clubs in Spain, Germany, Italy. It's going to be an open race. Liverpool and Guéhi was a done deal on deadline day, but then it collapsed. Liverpool are still interested, but nothing is done. So we have to see what will happen, concluded Romano on his YouTube channel. Liverpool need January defensive reinforcement. There will likely be plenty of suitors for Guéhi if he moves on next summer, but Liverpool may not have the luxury of waiting that long. Arne Slot has so far shown little faith in Joe Gomez this season, though circumstances may soon force a change in approach. Konate cannot play every match, and with Gomez the only real backup option, it is a fine line to walk. Neither player has a strong history of staying fit, and any injury before January could seriously hurt Liverpool's hopes of competing for trophies this season. The Reds must act early in the transfer window to ease that burden. While Guéhi might not be available then, making an interim move would allow them to go all in for the Palace man next summer without risking the short-term stability of their defense. Arne Slot issues clear response to Mohamed Salah dip in form as Cody Gakpo claim made. Liverpool forward Mohamed Salah has struggled for form at the start of the season, but Arne Slot is not worried about his star man, who he took off against Man United. Mohamed Salah has struggled at the start of the new season. Arne Slot was asked directly whether Mohamed Salah's powers are waning after a tough start to the new season, but the Liverpool head coach was quick to point to other missed chances against Manchester United. Dutch forward Cody Gakpo hit the woodwork 3 times and missed a sitter near the end of the game, while Alexander Isak went through one-on-one with goalkeeper Sen Lamens in the first half but could only produce a tame effort that was easily saved. New signing Florian Wirtz, meanwhile, made an impact when he came off the bench in the second half but was left out of the starting 11 for the second game in a row. I think after games like this, it is quite normal that people are very focused on individual players, Slot told Sky Sports. In the first 5 or 6 games, it was mainly about the signings we did. Now, we have to talk about Mo Salah. I think we have had more than enough chances to score a goal. Mo missed a big one, and some others missed big chances. We are not used to this from Mo. We needed a goal, but we also needed a player who can create something in that end phase. That is what Jeremy Frimpong did, and he had a great action for Cody Gakpo. A dejected Arne Slot after Liverpool 1-2 Manchester United. If we were 3-0 up, then I think Cody would have scored. I cannot guarantee this, but like I said, every player has tried everything, but it didn't work out. Liverpool took 19 shots in total, but scored only once. Brian Bumo and Harry Maguire were more clinical for Manchester United, who earned a first victory at Anfield in almost 10 years. It makes it even harder if you are 1-0 down after 1 or 2 minutes, Slot added. If you told me that we would play against a low block and a team that plays so many long balls, that we would be able to create so many chances, I would think that we wouldn't lose the game, but we did, because we missed a lot of shots. The few chances we conceded led to 2 goals, and again, a set piece is partly the reason why we lost the game. If you lose a game of football, especially after you have lost 4, maybe I should not talk about that. No excuses. We have had more than enough chances to score a goal. Breaking. Ange Postecoglou sacked by Nottingham Forest after 39 days in charge. Nottingham Forest have made a stunning managerial change, confirming that Ange Postecoglou has been sacked with immediate effect following a disastrous start to life at the City Ground. The decision comes after 8 winless games, leaving Forest languishing near the bottom of the Premier League table and prompting the club's hierarchy to act swiftly. Postecoglou, who joined from Tottenham Hotspur just over a month ago, was seen as a bold and ambitious appointment. A manager renowned for his attacking philosophy, quick passing, and fearless approach to football. However, Forest's squad appeared to struggle adapting to his high-risk system, conceding heavily and failing to secure a single victory under his reign. Marc Guéhi transfer intention confirmed as Liverpool wait after deadline day collapse. Marc Guéhi has no intention of remaining at Crystal Palace beyond this season. Manager Oliver Glasner has confirmed ahead of the return to Premier League action. Oliver Glasner almost lost Marc Guéhi to Liverpool this summer, but accepts this will be the centre-back's last season at Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace manager Oliver Glasner has confirmed Marc Guéhi has no intention of signing a new contract and will leave the club. The England international came close to joining Liverpool on transfer deadline day. Guéhi was given permission to undergo his medical with the Reds in London on September 1st. However, Palace's attempts to replace the centre-back fell through when Brighton and Hove Albion's Igor Julio chose a loan to West Ham United over a switch to Selhurst Park. That meant Guéhi's proposed move to Merseyside was cancelled as a result, and Liverpool are now expected to return next summer when he will be available on a free transfer. I think Marc has already told us that he doesn't sign a new contract, so he will leave next year, said the Austrian on Friday. The club wanted him to stay. They offered Marc a new contract, but he said, "No, I want to make something different." And that's normal. And for us, it's how we can deal with this situation. What is the best way to get this next step done? And that's all about how we are talking together. The Reds remain interested in Guéhi, but their stance following deadline day was they had no plans to revive the deal in the January transfer window. Whether that is still the case following the devastating injuries suffered by Giovanni Leone remains to be seen. Guéhi is able to sign a pre-contract agreement with a foreign club from January 1st. As well as Liverpool and Premier League rivals Manchester City, Real Madrid, Barcelona and Bayern Munich are also said to be interested in the former Chelsea youngster. Palace chairman Steve Parish recently revealed that the club's first-ever European campaign was the overriding reason for deciding to keep Guéhi. "It's a difficult decision," Parish told TalkSport. "It's as simple as that these things are never black and white. I decided in the end that, based on the advice that I got and with what I think, that we would have a better season if we kept Marc. We don't guess about these things. If you look at it rationally, if you look at what is worth the place in the Premier League, the fact that we're in the Conference League for the first time in our history, this is a fairly unusual set of circumstances in which to keep a player. If we were fighting between the difference of 10th and 14th, if that was going to be the difference between keeping Marc and letting Marc go, then probably we would have said, right, we should take the money." Liverpool, who have been linked with Borussia Dortmund and Germany defender Nico Schlotterbeck in recent days, return to Premier League action on Sunday when they play host to bitter rivals Manchester United. Liverpool draw up Mikel Arteta's transfer plan after failed Chelsea move. A new update on Liverpool transfer target Mikel Arteta has emerged after Chelsea failed to sign him last summer, with Arne Slot's team still being linked to the Bayern Munich star. Mikel Arteta of Bayern Munich. Liverpool are reportedly willing to spend big on Michael Ollis next summer. The former Chelsea Academy player left Crystal Palace for £50.7 million to join Bayern Munich last summer after seeing a return to Stamford Bridge collapse. The West Londoners had verbally agreed personal terms with the player and were prepared to meet his £35 million release clause. But they wouldn't have been in that position if the club hadn't parted ways with him at the age of 14. In Germany, Ollis has gone on to score 25 goals and provide 29 assists in just 64 appearances to date. Several clubs have monitored his development in Germany, with Bild reporting that Liverpool could look to secure a move for him next summer and are drawing up a plan to sign the winger. Ollis is described as the perfect fit to succeed Mohamed Salah at Anfield. Chelsea, meanwhile, are said to be open to a move, with Enzo Maresca's side always on the lookout for fresh talent. However, Bayern are reportedly preparing a new deal for the France international. Ollis is currently under contract at the Allianz Arena until the summer of 2029 and reportedly does not have a release clause. Although he is not thought to be among Bayern's highest earners, the club can afford to offer Ollis a lucrative contract. The report adds that Bayern plan to secure his long-term future with a contract extension until 2031, coupled with a significant salary increase. Manager Vincent Kompany has already made it clear that he hopes to rely on the winger for many years to come. We generally don't talk about contract details. Our aim is that Michael will stay at FC Bayern for a long time, he said in the summer. He's an exceptional talent. I see total calmness in Michael. He comes up to us because he wants to get even better. He's now won things for the first time, but he has to keep going. I hope he can make further progress and that the Bayern fans will get joy from him for a long time.